Why are you always disappointed in people? Well, this boils down to three things. Of course, there are more, but for the sake of this video's brevity, I will stick to only three. The first one is that you have expectations and you have attachment. When you have expectations about someone, your expectations will never be met. And if they are somewhat met, they will not be met exactly as you would like them to be. Therefore, it will create disappointment. Therefore, you will be not satisfied with the way things turned out, with the way someone, your person of interest, acted or said something or behaved a certain way, which was not exactly 100% like what you wanted them to say, act, think, whatever the case may be. You have not only expectations about what people will say, do, and think, but you also have attachment to their reaction or inadequate reaction, inadequate things that they say, think, or do. So you see this is a little bit of a vicious circle, if you will, because when you have expectations, it means that you are attached to the object of your expectations. There cannot be any other way. You cannot have expectations for someone for whom you have non-attachment. And as I said in my previous videos, for instance, the one called the first pillar of awakening, which is unconditional love, you have unconditional love for someone. If you have unconditional love for someone, it is an impossibility to have any kind of expectations or attachment to them. Because by having expectations and attachment to someone, you have a hidden desire of controlling them. And where there is control, there is no unconditional love. So that is the first reason why you are always disappointed in people. If you want to understand, what unconditional love is, then I will link down below a few of my videos that talk about it. The reason number two that you are always disappointed in people is that you are not aligned with them and they are not aligned with you. What do I mean by that? When you are aligned with who you are, it is usually the result of a spiritual awakening. When you have a spiritual awakening, you remember who you are, that is everything and everyone, that is the higher self, that is source, that is God, call it whatever you want. And all those things are on a 5D, five-dimension level of existence, realm of reality, if you will. All those things are unconditional love. We come from unconditional love. We are unconditional love. We are loved and we are love. We go back to love, higher self, God, source, call it whatever you want, when we leave this meat suit of ours. And when you are aligned with who you are, that is, you remember who you are, that is, you went through some sort of spiritual awakening, all the masks and costumes that your ego made you wear fall away. Therefore, the people that used to know you before your spiritual awakening, before you remember who you are, will have been attracted to the masks and the costumes that your ego made you wear. They will have been attracted to a fake version of you. They will have been attracted to someone that is, for all intent and purposes, not you. And before you come to this realization, that is, we are all one, that is, we are source, that is, we are unconditional love, and not what our ego will have us believe we are, before you understand that, you will be wearing different masks, for different circumstances, different occasions, different people. Meaning that you will never be yourself. Meaning that if the people that you hang out with, while you are not yourself, these people, if they are attracted to you in some shape or form, they will be attracted to the illusion that you are projecting and not to yourself. Therefore, you will start off a relationship, whatever it is, friendship, romance, platonic, whatever it is, on a false premise. You will have given them a version of yourself that is not yourself. And they will, in all likelihood, unless they have been spiritually awakened, have given you a version of themselves that is not who they really are. Therefore, you cannot, and I mean this, you cannot have a worthwhile, honest to goodness, relationship with anyone if you are not who you really are. It might work for a minute because they will be charmed, by the glamour of the illusion that you are wearing. And same with you, you will be charmed, glamored by the illusion of who they pretend to be. But one day or another, the mask will fall off and you will be disappointed. So that is the second reason why you are oftentimes disappointed in people. The third one and the last one, I will try to keep it short this time. I always say that, but I'm trying really hard. The third reason why you are always disappointed in people is because you refuse to understand. You refuse to pay heed to what they are telling you with, but especially without words. In order for me to explain what I'm talking about here, I'm going to give you two examples. The first one is, if you have to fight for someone's attention, then I will save you a lot of time and tell you, screw their attention and revert that energy back to you and back to the people you are aligned with, the people you are in an alignment with. Because you shouldn't have to fight for anybody's attention if someone is genuinely interested in you. The minute you try to fight for your attention is the minute you believe your ego that you are not worth their attention and you have to fight for it. When in actuality, the best relationships that you will have in your life will always be effortless. And to fight for someone's attention is to make an effort. And you shouldn't have to make an effort in any relationship. It doesn't mean that you don't have to make compromises, but to make an effort to attract someone's attention when they do not willingly give it to you for free is to sell yourself short. And that will bear only rotten fruit, aka you will be disappointed. Another way that people can tell you to, for all intended purposes, let them go with word, but especially without words, is if you have been trying to make it work, quotation marks, if you have been trying to make a situation with someone work for the longest time, but there is no return on investment, there is no results. What it is telling you, what they, the person we are talking about, the object of your attention, the person that you are trying to make it work and have been trying to make it work for so long, what they are telling you is, without words, please stop trying. And the reason why we refuse to listen to that is because our ego is telling us to keep doing it. Because that will keep us in a loop of despair and disappointment. And our ego is very, very happy when we focus on negative feelings, when we focus on others, because that way we do not go within, that way we do not take the first step towards spiritual awakening, which will eventually make us remember that we are all one, that we are source, therefore we are not our ego. Because so long as you are focusing on someone, on the external, instead of going inside the internal, going within, your ego is in control. Your ego is the master and you are the slave. And your ego is very happy with you being the slave. And When you do that, as I said, when you try to make something work, but it's not working and you've been trying for a long time, it is the other person's way of telling you, please stop trying and let me go. So these are the 3 reasons why we are oftentimes disappointed in people.